This is an address given by the Beloved Lord Gautama to the Bridge of Freedom Cheelers in August of 1953 through the light and sound ray. Beloved children of the one eternal God of light and life, how magnificent is the intensity of the light within your souls. That light enables, from within your own heartbeat, the petals of spiritual achievement and attainment to unfold from the tightly closed bud in which your immortal identity has, for century after century, slumbered. It has awaited the kiss of the spiritual sun, that it might arise and, through the inner pressure of its own majestic dignity, stand forth revealed. The master presence of God, the great I Am, choosing to wear for a moment in eternal time a garment of flesh, to wear it lightly and move forward as an emissary of the King of Kings, carrying mercy, light, and love to all manifest form. I breathe in the fragrance of your own unfolding God flame. Sweet is its essence in my nostrils, for it is many, many centuries since I have had contact with the outer consciousness of the peoples of earth. It is many hundreds of years since I closed the book of my earth life and entered into the heart of that realm of eternal peace, where it became my obligation, responsibility, and service to life to draw from the heart of the great Father, Mother God of all of you that supreme love, by which universes, planets, as well as individual souls and selves are sustained. Here in the realm of the cosmic, I served with little remembrance of the world of form, drawing that love, breathing in the perfume of the eternal, absorbing the radiation of God Himself, and, through my own body, directing it then into those who chose to be my representatives, the dispensers of those spiritual currents in the lower atmosphere of earth. Through the beloved Lord Maitreya, the beloved Master Jesus, the beloved Patrick, and the beloved Ramakrishna, and other blessed and dedicated sons and daughters of God, I was enabled to make the nature of God felt. Around those sanctified ones were drawn the life streams incarnate who wished to bathe in that one presence. Within the aura of those, my chosen, did the disciples and the Cheelers taste of the blessing of nirvana, the glory of heaven, and learn something of the way thither. This was as far as I, by cosmic law, was permitted to go, in endeavouring to reach again the evolution of which you are a part, until one night, not so long ago, when from China there arose a call for mercy that came from the hearts of unascended beings, and made a note of sweetness through the cry of pain and agony which represented the sound that the earth and her people release into interstellar space. I heard that call for mercy, and on that very call, on that very music created by that desire for compassion, I came back into the world of form. Here I shall abide, endeavouring, through my own humble radiation, to give the assistance of my own life stream. May it enable each and every one who has professed, by their presence with us, a desire to become a way-shower, to earn that consciousness of peace and balance that abides within the pursuit of the middle way, and that infinite power and capacity to convey, through the energies of their own life streams, the quality and nature of God to their fellow men. Throughout my service to mankind, before and after my freedom, I have stressed always the power of radiation as the greatest teacher, the greatest pattern by which man might fashion his individual life. Words are cheap. Millions and millions of words have been spoken and written by sages, saints, and teachers from time immemorial. Millions and millions of words have been read by earnest seekers and aspirants, and joined by the accretion of the mental body, adding no whit to the spiritual nature of the self, but to the conducting of the qualities of radiation, which represent the nature of the one eternal God. There is always a way and means by which the millions and billions that belong to this evolution may not only be touched, but inspired and awakened from the soul sleep of the ages, and again encouraged to place their own feet upon the path and walk in serenity, in dignity, in balance, and in peace into the self-mastery which is preordained for all evolving life. Looking at the descending stream of electronic life, which forms your heartbeat, the most exquisite melody, the most divine music of the spheres is incorporated in the release of those pure electrons that enter into your heart with such rapidity that millions and millions and millions of them are radiated forth from your body in the matter of a second by mortal count, and every electron comes to you with a song. It comes to you in exquisite beauty of form, containing within itself a pattern which is indicative of your own individualized God-self. A star, a cross, a dove, a flower, beautiful beyond limit, is within every one of those electrons. If they could only be suspended in their descent for a moment, that your fleshly eyes could look upon them, within every one of these electrons is all the potential power by which the Master Jesus healed the sick, raised the dead, transformed darkness into light, and himself manifested the mastery of ascension in the physical presence of 500 incarnate life streams. Look at that stream of light and feel for an instant the potential power that flows through you. Oh, not once in a 24-hour period, not once in a lifetime, as you say in your world of form, but every instant. Millions of those electrons, qualified with that infinite power, pass into the control of your mental and emotional body and are absorbed greedily by those inner vehicles, pressed into distorted form, externalized into your own aura, and there remain to be redeemed by your own conscious endeavor one day. I would like to charge your consciousness with the realization of the power that flows through your heart, containing within itself all the power by which the universe was created, by which the stars are held in their orbits, and the whirling motion of the planets is sustained in rhythm, and the forward progress of the galaxy is directed through universal space. Feel that, O beloved friends. There is your open door to freedom. There is your healing, infinite and complete, without requiring that you bend the knee to any man. There is the teacher, which will unfailingly direct the intellect and move you forward in the right path through the use of your energy, while yet you remain in the world of form. There is the actual substance, which may, at your own discretion, become manifest as a requirement of any hour, for it is intelligent, it is obedient, it is pliable, it is ceaseless in its flow, and there is no limit as to how much you may draw or how you use it. I am told by the brothers that your life streams are interested in the blessing of the elemental kingdom. It gives me pleasure to point out to you that obedience is the key to your conscious control of substance and form. Oh, this great primordial life that fills this universe is the body of God himself, which flows ceaselessly from the great central source of the system. It is elemental but intelligent life. It is directed by the great Father of Light Eternal to respond and obey the consciousness which abides within the hearts and minds of mankind. This blessed elemental substance, therefore, becomes the servant of your thinking and feeling self, and rushes instantly into the obedient form of that which your mind designs out of the universal life. Then, as your feelings pass through it, it becomes a breathing entity that lives because you have invested it with the power of your own qualified energy. Beloved ones, in the use of these powers of the sacred fire, can you not visualize and feel this light? Let us take, for example, your ring pass knot, which in India is used so freely, and which now is coming into use in a limited degree in the Western world. As you, within your mind, consciously desire the protection from the passing vibrations of the mental and feeling world of mankind, you immediately set up a magnetic pull upon elemental life, and millions of tiny little beings, so infinitesimal that many of them could sit upon the head of one of your pins, respond to that magnetic call and endeavor to outpicture the thought form which you hold of a tube of light. They draw around you, standing shoulder to shoulder, to enfold you within that living tube of light. That tube, dear friends, is made up of living intelligences who sacrifice their freedom to dance in the sunshine and play in the grasses, that they may be for you a mantle of protective force. Have you thought that through, when you so lightly say, "Enfold me now in my mighty magnetic electronic tube of light"? Have you thought that intelligent life has chosen, in obedience, to relinquish its freedom and to stand in the questionable safety of your aura? Yet that is so. These blessed beings at your direction form a wall and with their own bodies repel and press away from the thoughts and feelings that flow through the lower atmosphere of the psychic and astral realms, which forms the habitation of your flesh. Then, perchance, if you be endeavouring to experiment with the protective power, you may choose to change the colour of this blazing tube of light. Through thought and force, you think of a beautiful electronic blue. You know that it is the protective power of beloved Moira's ray. As your very thought goes forth, every one of these glorious electrons, little beings of fire, wearing shimmering robes of light, holding often within their hands tiny ones of power, immediately become electric blue. And so they stand until again your thought changes, and you call for the pink of Nada's love, and they clothe themselves in that pink and radiate it out to give love. Oh, beloved ones, there is so much you can experiment with through the creative power of your own thought and feeling, in the knowledge that elemental substance is intelligent, it is responsive, it is obedient, and it is delighted to do for you that which is in agreement with the divine plan. How many electrons do you imprison in form of distortion in the course of a day? Then do you see that when your thought and feeling focuses together as they do in a cooperative group, or in your own private application, that thought force draws the electrons and the elementals into a constructive pattern, and they rush to obey, for they would much rather be incorporated in your tube of light, or into the surging flame of the purifying power that blazes through you to transmute your transgressions, than they would to be in a form of battering ram of anger or jealousy, hatred or resentment, which you drive and drive and drive against a person, place, condition, or thing, battering their very heads and bruising their little bodies while they are incorporated in those vicious vortices of thought and feeling forms. Yet, because their law and their life is to render obedience to man, they cannot let go. You form a group of mankind interested in the elemental kingdom. For this reason I choose to draw the veil aside and show you how magnificent may be your service, how lightly you have touched even the periphery of the great activity which may yet be manifested through you as individuals and collectively. In the realm of the astral or the psychic, there are, imprisoned in forms which I shall not describe, so many countless billions of electrons, elemental, intelligent beings. It is your opportunity to release them and let them go back into the heart of the sun, back to the source from whence they came, for you too have been among those who have imprisoned them. You may be their redeemer. Then, as you render that service, and as the inner realms in which mankind move are freed from those pressures, again will come that lightness, buoyancy, and happiness which was known in the early ages before the effluvia and the mist of thought and feeling of human creation dimmed the light of the spiritual sun, clothed your spiritual faculties in dullness, and made it impossible for you to longer see and talk with the brothers and sisters who are the guardians of this race, and who are the protecting presences of the ascended Master Octave.